3, 1, off blast.
Boy, that just sounded, really gut-punching and, get you amped up and ready for this podcast, doesn't it?
Yeah, we need some techno music to go along with it.
Yeah. Oh, Lordy. Ta! And down goes McCree. So, hey, folks, welcome to the NeviCast. This is your boy, Fearless Billy Nwanda, and I'm back this week. Yay. Had to take a week sabbatical for some IRL stuff, so yeah, this is good times with weapons, especially at the time that we're recording this right now. Yeah. So, we're kind of just to warn you guys, we're all going to be kind of sounding like we're completely off and we need coffee because we're entirely sleep deprived and we need coffee.
Except I slept all day, so.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So rum's going to be on point, but the rest of us...
Not so much.
Courage,
yes. Just to kind of go along, you already heard them. We have Rum.
What's up?
And our Demon Lord Hans.
Welcome.
And, of course, our delivery man, Adon.
What's up?
So, yeah. We're just going to be all over the place tonight, and you guys are going to love it.
We're going to take you for a ride. No, nobody?
No.
Take you for a ride.
No.
Hey, in 3 they had a techno remix of it, and it was nightmare-inducing. And I'm sure in Infinite they're going to have a version of it just to kick us while we're down.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, with Infinite coming out soon, they probably will have some... Probably be like the dubstep reggae version of Take You for a Ride.
Take you
Not
for a
familiar
ride.
at all.
Yeah, well, okay. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, in their... Yeah, this is fighting game
He's explaining
stuff, but for those of y'all who might not be familiar with it, in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, in the stage select, not stage select, but character select, it was always looping this one jazzy kind of song. I'm gonna take you for a ride. Gonna take you for a ride. That kind of stuff.
And after long enough, people would say, geez, somebody take this bitch for a ride.
Yeah. But it's one of those deals where it's so bad, so good. So it just stuck, and they can't get rid of that song now. It's just buried into the consciousness.
Mm-hmm. It is intrinsic to Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's where that whole bit comes from. So, yeah, speaking of some gaming stuff, Nintendo kind of pulled a fast one recently.
What did they do?
New Nintendo 2DS.
Okay.
Basically what it is they've, because you guys, y'all remember the original 2DS design, right? For those listening at home. It's basically Villager Axe.
It was pretty much a non-closable DS.
Yeah.
Without the 3D you never
without
used.
the 3D.
Yeah, a DS, original DS, not the 3DS.
Yeah. Well, what they've done now is they've this new version actually adopts the clamshell style of the DS's line and the 3DS, but it just doesn't have the 3D functionality. But yeah, it's kind of interesting because it does have the more beefed up characteristics of the new 3DS line. So a lot of those games like Xenoblade Chronicles for 3DS, you can actually should be able to play on the new 2DS. Kind of interesting.
That it is. And the thing is, those of us who have owned a 3DS, how often did we actually use the 3D function?
On the old school 3DS, never. Even on my... Because, I've had 3 iterations of 3DS now. I had the original, Super Mini one that was from the beginning. I had the...
old Zelda one.
Yeah, every one I've had is a Zelda-related one. And then the second one I traded up to was the Link Between Worlds new 3DS. Or not new 3DS, but 3DS XL. And, it was the same thing. I just didn't bother with the 3D. I did a little bit with the new 3DS, but that's only because of the camera tracking. Because
I hardly ever used mine anyway, so...
Yeah.
It's still sitting in there in my room somewhere.
Yeah.
When I had a 3DS, I turned it on to see what it was like, and then quickly turned it off because it added nothing to the experience.
Yeah, there's very few games where it was again, with a lot of Nintendo gimmick stuff, the only ones who really took advantage of it were Nintendo themselves.
And
it's
even then...
It's like one of those you turn it on and go, huh, that's a thing, and then turn it right back off again.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
actually. Because, yeah, it looks really cool. And it actually, if I remember correctly, the game that I spent most of the time playing it on, Monster Hunter Generations, it really smoothed out the graphics of it, which was neat. And it, gave a bit of depth of field. It looked really cool, but it did nothing useful.
Yeah, you got more use, like especially if you bought one of the new 3DSs that had the beefed up processing capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot more useful than the 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think this new 2DS kind of reflects. It's for those who haven't wanted to jump in before because of the whole, like, I could care less about the 3D type deal. Well, now you've got kind of a reason to.
And even then, the 2DS previously, it was essentially a Game & Watch. And the thing about the 3DS and the DS is how they've always been so durable is that clamshell design generally protects most of the innards and the screen, most importantly, from, usual banging about. So that 2DS that didn't have that really just wasn't worth it. And I always looked at it when it was advertised or saw it in the store and thought, that's kind of dumb.
I did have a friend of mine who had a 2DS and he loved it. Mainly
Really?
because he liked... Because the thing with the 2DS is that because of how it was completely open and and he had like super gigantic, sausage hands.
Mm-hmm.
It felt a lot better gripping it than the...
And it was like a wedge shape, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's like I said, it was like
fatter at the
an
bottom.
axe head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it felt better for those with larger hands than it did than the 3DS did. Even the XL for him.
Well, I don't exactly have sausage hands, but I've always felt far more comfortable with the XL.
Yeah, I mean, I have too, but I mean, for him, his hands were humongous, so that's why he liked the 2DS more than anything else.
Fair enough.
I used to have a little grip piece that I put on my my PSP that made it feel like the PS2 controller.
Yeah.
Had the little extended grip so you could actually hold it and it felt comfortable.
There's actually something similar that Hori puts out for Monster Hunter. It's a grip piece that attaches on the bottom. It's like it is. It turns it more of a traditional controller shape. So because with Monster Hunter, one hunt sometimes can take all the way up to the 55-minute time period. So you're usually
having that empty space in your hands. It's not very comfortable for me.
Yeah, especially on long-term stuff.
Yeah, so I hardly ever played my 3DS at all.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, and it's another one of those surprise Nintendo deals that they just like to whip out of nowhere. Like I was just sitting there one morning, it's wake up and it's oh, new Nintendo 2DS. It's what? So yeah, that's kind of interesting. We'll see how that turns out, especially because it's actually on the way pretty soon. I think it's coming out later this summer, if I remember correctly. So
when's this SNES Classic supposed to be coming out?
Knowing them, they'll probably put that shit out in
Next year?
No, this holiday.
Oh. Have to keep an eye out for that. Maybe it'll have
Good luck.
Mega Man X on it this time.
A game I really hope they have on the SNES Classic, but they won't because it's such an obscure title. Anyone play EVO?
No.
Basically, it was an RPG where you evolved from single-celled ocean-based organism all the way up through, I don't know how far it went because, I was playing it on a cousin's SNES. But, yeah, you literally, evolved better legs using the experience points you got from eating other organisms. And it was really cool. But it's one of those niche titles that I thought it was awesome back in the day, but apparently no one else had ever heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, when it came to SNES titles, I think the most obscure game I probably played was Legend of Gaia.
Oh. Casual.
Yeah, most obscure I ever played was Out of This World.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I've seen adverts for it.
Yeah, it was okay. It was like they try to mix action with adventure games.
Yeah.
It was early stages of that genre, so.
Yeah. Just kind of wonky either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of happens. Yeah. So I mean, other than that, like, I mean, it's really kind of quiet right now. Mainly because a lot of the video game companies are all gearing up for E3.
Yeah.
So I mean, the one thing we got looking forward to is the Destiny gameplay reveals coming up on the 18th. So yeah, I'll be tuning into that. You know, seeing how that's going. Hopefully they will not completely rewrite the book. Well, they're kind of going to have to because they're reworking the engine and everything from scratch from things and rumors I've read. But, you know, I'm hoping that at least we get to, you know, still get a lot of the powers that we had from the first one and, you know, all that nice little jazz. That'll be pretty cool.
Well, do they really need to reinvent the wheel with Destiny?
They kind of have to with this particular one because when they developed the first game, the engine and system they used was so archaic to where one of the biggest problems with it, for example, was PvP versus PvE. Mm-hmm. If they wanted to adjust anything in PvP, it also affected the PvE world. And unlike a lot of MMOs where that's very defined separate. You know, you don't. It does one set of adjustments doesn't affect the other one.
Yeah.
But with Destiny, their engine stuff is so messed up. You know, they have to every time they make a change for PvP to balance things out, it screws up the PvE world. So, like one of the like Warlocks were probably the biggest example of that kind of abuse because they kept having to like tune down their powers, but then it made it to where Warlocks are really hard to play in the PvE realm because they were just too weak. So a lot of times you had to switch to your Hunter or your Titan classes if you level them up. You know, so yeah, it was kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Another deal too is that anytime that they had to make like even a small like graphical change, they couldn't just isolate that particular map zone and render it. Bam, it's done. It's good to go. They would have to do a complete re-render of the entire world sandbox.
Damn, that's kind of
every time they wanted to change a tiny little detail. It was kind of why, if you notice, like when you play through a lot of Destiny 1 content, especially the first like 2 expansions from Vanilla, Dark Below and House of Wolves, it just reused a lot of old maps, and it's because they really couldn't put in the time to like make new ones. Because otherwise they'd have to go in and it would take way too long to re-render and get everything just right. So with Destiny 2, you know, again, they're having to work with a new graphical engine and everything that will streamline a lot of stuff for them going forward. But in process, they have to leave all the old Destiny stuff behind.
Are they using a proprietary engine, or are they using the Unreal Engine 4?
No, I think they're going proprietary again, because Activision uses all proprietary stuff. But the thing with Activision is, since they have the whole Call of Duty studios that develop all that proprietary stuff, they can pass it along to all of their other studios, including Bungie. Even though Bungie isn't owned by Activision, because of their arrangement with Destiny, Bungie gets to access all the Call of Duty toys. Like, a matter of fact, for a lot of the recent Destiny stuff, they had some of the Call of Duty studios helping development of it. So, yeah, I mean, my main hopes is that I'm really hoping that we get 60 frames per second with this one. And I'm hoping that, you know, just, you know, better, you know, more varied loot. Elemental primary weapons would be nice, you know.
Don't nerf things as soon as you put them out.
Yeah, that would, well...
Like what was it, loot dungeons? You go in there and they completely deleted those.
Yeah, the loot cave. That was hilarious. No, yeah, like, I mean, you got Destiny 2, but like I said, everything's real quiet because everybody's like getting ready for E3. Yeah. So, yeah, got all the big conferences coming up. See what Bethesda cooks up for us along with Sony and Microsoft, and then, you know...
I'm excited for Bethesda.
Yeah, true that. But, yeah, you know, like, so as we get more closer to E3, we'll start seeing some stuff trickle out, and we'll talk about it more every week, you know?
When will that be again? E3?
Oh, that is a good question. Because, like, the thing with E3 is that it's kind of, usually it's like second weekend of June. Let's find out.
Yeah, that's one of those... because of my work schedule, I usually don't get to watch it until I get home.
That's
anyway. But
yeah. E3 is like June 13th through the 15th, and a lot of times, but that's like just the E3 conference. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo tend to do their stuff like a couple days beforehand, so look to start seeing that stuff starting on 10th or 11th.
See, what days will that be on?
It pretty much.
Well, they usually do like the Sundays when everything starts.
Yeah, that's when everything starts. Like traditionally, it's always been like the Sunday week of E3.
And that's usually like Microsoft and I think Bethesda usually tries to get out early.
Yeah, Bethesda usually tries to jump out first, followed by Microsoft and Sony together, and then Nintendo's usually like on the Tuesday, like first day of. Because what Nintendo
that's
usually
their direct stuff.
That's when they do their direct, and then they go straight into the Treehouse, which they like to, as part of Treehouse, they like to show the floor a lot. So, and I think like for this year, they've actually got a couple tournaments cooking up. There's a Splatoon 2 Invitational and an ARMS Invitational.
No, this is the first one that they've actually opened back up to the public since the early 2000s, isn't it?
No, like actually, yeah. Funnily enough, with E3, it's never been technically, it's never supposed to be for the public. It's always supposed to have been for industry and journalists.
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of times, sneak your buddy in there, or they would open up credentials to like websites and whatnot. Even if a website, like, we could sit there and like be like Nebby Double Reviews, and even though we're tossing crap out there, we could sit there and get credentials to go to E3.
Yeah.
But
I do know that like earlier in the early 2000s that they did have it like a open where the general public could go in and see the floor and stuff.
Not as open as you would think. Like, they would allow for some stuff, but not the whole.
I know they couldn't go to as many like panels and stuff, but
yeah,
they could go to the floor and
they could check out a couple things, but not the whole enchilada.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all here and done now because pretty much, with E3, they had to open their attendance to the public, mainly because a lot of the big guys, like, instead of really showing their stuff off at E3, they now all do their stuff at conferences. And if you're lucky, you can catch some playable stuff at E3.
QuakeCon, or
yeah,
as it's been known around here, BethesdaCon.
Yeah, BethesdaCon. But yeah, so it's just one of those deals where it's going to turn E3 into essentially like another PAX after all said and done, but it's kind of needed to sustain E3 as an event in the summer. Otherwise, I mean, like, all the other guys like Microsoft and Sony and them, they would rather I'm sure they would prefer to do all their big stuff like at different times throughout the year. Like, hell, knowing Microsoft with Scorpio coming out this year, they're going to put out, a giant like event later on in the year. As long as they don't get the killers on again. Because that was kind of silly. That and having dudes sitting there in his, like Jay Allard in his hoodie, like laying across the floor talking about, when you go into the Xbox 360, it's like a lucid dream.
Are they coming out of their cage? Are they doing just fine?
Well, it could have been...
No, but Jenny was a friend of theirs.
When we were young.
At Sam's Town?
Well, somebody told me.
Moving on.
Yeah, we're like going on a little bit too much with the puns.
The Killers references.
The Killers references. I actually do want to kind of talk a little bit of board gaming stuff, though, because, like, as you guys know, we started
Versus
our WW Versus on Saturdays, and we're now, like, going through board games and whatnot. And, like, I was, talking with everybody tonight. It's like, well, how'd you guys do? Spoilers, they died. So...
No, the whole world died.
Yeah. So, you guys were playing Pandemic.
Yeah.
Right?
We wound up curing red and yellow, but black and blue got to us.
No, we cured blue.
Was it blue? No, that was the other game I'm thinking of.
We got all three of them, and then I had enough to take out red, but we couldn't cure black in the amount of time we had left. So we lost. We all committed ritual suicide.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that isn't like for the with Pandemic though, it is kind of a rough scenario to overcome.
Yeah, it's one of those games where normally you'd be able to shuffle the discard pile and make a new stack, but no, not in this game. If you run out of cards, it's game over.
Yeah.
Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game over. Don, did you end up playing tonight?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
But I was the contingency planner.
Yes. That means he could any event card that was played and went to the discard pile, he could take it and put it back on his card and use it again by spending an action.
It's a useful It's a useful role, but it is very situational. The right cards have to come up, and you have to have the space on your card. And again, the event itself has to be appropriate for the quote unquote season. And we didn't have the Holy Trinity, so we were done.
Yeah.
Well, at least we had the medic. That's one of the ones you desperately need.
Yeah, the medic and the dispatcher are two of the major parts of the Holy Trinity.
And then what was the third one?
The researcher.
The researcher.
Researcher's nice, but I kind of like the scientist's ability to cure with only 4. Yeah.
Yeah. We just needed another player, pretty much.
Yeah.
And we could have won.
It's like I said, it is kind of a rough scenario to do with like 3 players.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those where like 4 kind of like you feel you got a better shot at it than you do with 3.
You really have to plan ahead as you're going before you jump into it, because it's a really difficult game just by itself.
Yeah. And Don, did you have like pretty ease of playing it through? Because I know this is your second time playing it, right?
Third,
Yeah.
Second or third?
Third.
Third?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you gotten pretty used to it?
Yes. I think it's an enjoyable game. It goes by relatively quickly.
Yeah, because we played a little over an hour and 15 minutes or so.
Yeah. One of the nice things about Pandemic is that it's a pretty fast game. Which you wouldn't think that, but...
No. And I also like that you require strategy, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the nice things about Pandemic, like at least vanilla version, is that it is a co-op game. So
there are expansions like On the Brink that add a infector or a terrorist type player. So one of the players becomes a terrorist trying to spread disease, and the other players are trying to prevent the spread of it.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not as backstabby as Battlestar Galactica.
But as we said in the at the end of the video, we will be playing Arkham Horror next week, so that should be pretty enjoyable.
And about as difficult as Pandemic.
Or even more sometimes.
I was going to say, I'd go even more. Pandemic, like, I've had, like, pretty nice, good, shiny, fun times with, even when we lost.
Mm-hmm.
Arkham Horror just made me want to crawl into a hole, cut my life into pieces because this is my last resort.
Well, that is... You notice how there's never a happy ending for a Lovecraftian protagonist? They either go mad, kill themselves, or both. That's kind of the point. Yeah. Which is why I love it.
True that.
I'm really looking forward to busting that one back out again. It's one of my all-time favorite games.
Yeah. But, if, to come back to Pandemic just a little bit more, Don, for those of y'all who don't know, Don is pretty visually impaired.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the cards, tokens, and whatnot are pretty easy for you to decipher, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
And with it being a co-op game, we can also help him out.
Yeah. So it's that's one of the really nice things about Pandemic is that a lot more game manufacturers are actually starting to come out with games that are what they like to call color safe, which is for those like a Don, you're pretty much colorblind.
Yeah, that's right.
There are actually games that are now coming out and being developed that actually help those who are colorblind, so they can participate in the game with everybody else.
Yeah, with the updates they made to the game, even if you can't really see the colors very well, they have different shapes for the diseases now.
Yeah.
So if you can recognize the shapes, you'll know which parts of the world that the cards belong to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, it's definitely one, like, for those of you who are still on the fence about it, it's definitely one that I would pick up if I were you.
And they actually sell it at Walmart now, so.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, board games that's actually kind of crossed over into mainstream consciousness.
Sort of like Catan.
Yeah, Catan. Yeah, Catan was like the first one. Now Pandemic is starting to join it as being like one of those really good board game starters, something that's easy for everybody to get into. It really kind of gets them into board gaming in general.
It's the step up from the family game night board games.
It's the gateway drug. Watch out.
Yeah. That actually kind of brings a funny point, though, because it's just like up in my particular place of employment, we actually have a family that comes in like every weekend, and their main deal is to sit there and they'll break out like a big, like, 3-4 hour board game and just sit there and go at it. You know, drink some coffee, drink some frappuccinos, and just have some fun, you know?
Yeah.
This on the weekends?
Yeah, they come in like every weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty good times. I mean, like, you know, like that's kind of one of the nice things about tabletop gaming is that it's kind of, you know, grown and evolved and is now becoming something that's much more mainstream than you would have thought like a few years ago.
Yep.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're bored and want something to do next Saturday, you can watch us play Arkham Horror.
Nice spin into the shilling right there. I like that.
And I thought my plugging stuff was shameless. Damn, man. You make me look like a charlatan when it comes to this shit. Should I give you like $59.50 to go to a seminar on how to shamelessly plug shit?
No, just a tree fitting.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Again, you can kind of tell we're all kind of sleep deprived at this point, can't you? We're just like, oh,
Whatever.
that's a good line. Yeah. So yeah, in the world of dank animus. Good lord, I just need to catch up with a bunch of stuff.
Yes,
so
you
I'm
do.
gonna let Rum kind of take the lead on this one because he's been keeping up with all the shows, the hot action.
Yeah, Akashic Records is getting good. What was it? Attack on Titan was getting boring there for a while, but then it just like the last 2 episodes has been like, oh my god, finally something going on.
Did the two groups finally meet up?
What do you mean?
Because I know, like, this last episode I was at, like, Aaron and them were having to ride out to...
Oh, yeah. Find I forget her name, the blonde chick, whatever.
Krista.
Yeah. They're trying to go find her or whatever. And yeah, it's past that part. It got good. Fast.
Did one of the big titans appear again? Okay, so you're at that part. I should probably let everybody know I'm pretty far ahead of the story, but I have to be very excruciatingly careful to not spoil shit. So, okay, I know where you're at now.
Yeah, they're on the wall now.
Okay.
And they're getting on the boat. Wrong manga. Sorry.
Prelude to the CG boat for Attack on Titan.
But there's also
Is it a nice boat?
okay.
No.
We're off that subject now.
No. You guys don't remember the nice boat meme?
No.
I think it was School Days. They didn't want to show the original ending, so they just showed a picture of a boat.
That ending sucked. It was freaking stupid.
That's the point. That's why it became a meme, making fun of it. Moving on.
But yeah, My Hero Academia was pretty awesome. As always, that show is just so freaking good. What else?
Aromanga Sensei?
Yeah, I watched Aromanga Sensei today. It was freaking hilarious. I was laughing out loud. Yeah, you need to watch that one.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, because of IRL stuff, it's just my ability to concentrate on catching up and staying caught up with anime shows has just really kind of suffered in the last couple weeks. Mainly just, you know, yeah. That and, like, convention preparation started to take in.
Mm-hmm.
And Overwatch.
Speaking of gaming, I'm supposed to be going in to play Final Fantasy VIII on this coming up Wednesday. I made a new banner for myself. Wait, have you seen it?
Yeah, I was
What'd
like...
you think?
LOL-tastic. When the rest of the public sees it, they'll probably think the same thing.
I should really stop making candid suggestions over his shoulder.
Yeah, you probably should.
Where is it? Let me pull that up real quick.
Oh, Lord.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the fuck of it, you should just cosplay like that anyway. Just get the whole...
Just leave my face the
Just
same.
leave your face the same.
And just wear the jacket?
Just wear the jacket and the shirt and like the whole get up.
Since you're listening to us, we are looking at a group shot of all of the characters of Final Fantasy VIII, and as he did with his rum plays of Full Throttle, he has replaced Squall's face with his.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those where you'll have to see it to believe it.
And if none of this makes sense, then we've just
It
gone
will
talking to a
always.
wall.
Well, I mean, like, he's the main character, and you're always playing as him, so I had to throw my face up.
So yeah, look forward. Let's talk about the other part. So like, just to do it, like, you know, you did a test run.
Yeah.
Nate,
Yeah.
just a couple days ago.
No spoilers, but it's fucking hilarious.
Well, like, we can talk about the one part where you named your character.
No. I'm going to do it again on the stream, so no spoilers for
Again,
anybody.
this was the suggestion I made, not expecting him to take it seriously, but I've created a monster and I'm sorry.
It was hilarious. We laughed for like 10 minutes.
We did.
Oh my!
And then we stopped being 12.
Yeah.
So next Wednesday, get ready to come be 12 with the rest of us.
Yes.
Or be no fun.
Or
You
be
always
no
have
fun.
the option to be no fun.
Yes.
My face hurts.
But,
Oh, there's a joke to be made, but I can't because spoilerific.
But, you know, so, yeah, like I said, you know, like the spring anime season's going along pretty well, and, you know, of course, now that we're getting into summer, we're starting to get into what's called con season. Like, there are a few cons that do take place, like, in the beginning or latter part of the year, especially here in Texas, where we're all based out of. But for a lot of us, the majority of convention stuff takes place between June through
August.
or the end of August. Because you've got A-Kon, you've got QuakeCon, Anime Fest. You know, like, those are the big ones. And then, like, there's, like,
various
a whole...
Comic-Cons in between.
Yeah, various Comic-Cons in between. Although the main one, Dallas Comic-Con, actually moved to... they were back in April now. I think after that whole year where they had that same weekend as A-Kon thing last year, they kind of...
They got their lunches eaten, so they're like, fuck this, we're retreating.
I wouldn't say lunch is eating, but they were trying to eat A-Kon's lunch, and it didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Because A-Kon still had an increase in attendance.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that they're now in Fort Worth. Yay, Fort Worth.
Yeah, they had to go from a hotel to a full-blown convention center.
Yeah, and then with multiple hotels throughout the city.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, I think it's like, if you could think of something similar, it would probably be Dragon Con. Or like Anime Expo, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what they're trying to go for.
Yeah. Just not as big. They're
Yet.
still growing.
Yeah, still growing, you know. They're kind of going all out, though, because they got a pretty good guest list. Even though I'm sure a lot of folks would be like, there's not enough Animu guests. Why can't you get somebody from Glorious Neon?
They have McCree going to be there.
That's right, McCree is
Matt
going
Mercer.
to be there. That's actually kind of a funny note for for you and me, because
I still need to get his autograph from my DM because if you don't know, Matt Mercer runs a thing on Geek and Sundry called Critical Role, and they played D&D 5th edition on there. Well, my 5th edition DM is a huge fan of his, so I was going to bribe my DM with an autographed copy from Matt Mercer.
yeah, that's kind of funny too, because it's just like, oh shit, it's Matt Mercer, the voice of McCree, and all other sorts of really cool anime characters, and Rum's just like, oh shit, it's Matt Mercer from Critical Role.
Yeah.
Whereas both Hans and the delivery man are like, who the hell is Matt Mercer?
Who's that guy
If
again?
you heard someone say it's high noon, that is him.
Yeah, which, I mean, you probably have heard many a time watching me play Overwatch, Adon.
Yes. Now, when you say McCree, then that makes sense. But
Yeah.
Matt Mercer makes...
He's the voice of McCree.
Yeah.
He's also he's a really prestigious voice actor. He's done a ton of roles over the last few years. So he's got a lot of pedigree to him. But yeah, I mean, so for example, a lot of us are getting ready for A-Kon, so we're all starting to go into that con mode.
Yeah.
And part of con mode is figuring out your planning, making sure you're getting your money together for the hotel room, making sure that you're getting food and stuff ready to go. So
making sure that you're getting time off of work.
Yeah. Speaking of money, did you see that they lowered the prices to $60 for the daily tickets for Friday and Saturday?
I did see that. Of course, for me, I'm volunteer staff, so
Yeah, but still, I mean, them to go from $70 to $60. It's not bad.
It's not bad, and it's actually a sign of good faith from the A-Kon staff because, a lot of folks have been kind of arguing the lead up to this year's con as it is because, they started off out the gate at $55 right when pre-reg opened, and a lot of people were like, "What the fuck?" Because A-Kon's always traditionally started off actually much lower than that. For a long time, it was $35.
Yeah.
So we would all pre-reg early and be like, ha 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 ha, have fun, you $80 losers.
And then you get the little pre-packaged stuff with comic books and stuff in there, just for getting your pre-badge, whatever.
Yeah, you get little goodies and whatnot.
Did they even do that last year?
Not as extensively, mainly because as you know, they no longer have the connection with Madness that they used to. A lot of those extra comics came from Madness, from what I understand.
Okay.
But yeah, for this year, they especially with the move to Fort Worth and all this stuff, they had to raise up their costs quite a bit.
Yeah.
And especially with a lot of the guests they're trying to get out here, which they got a shit ton of voice actor guests and whatnot. And those guys are not cheap, and that's what a lot of the Weeaboo class does not really think of. It's just we want Japanese voice actors, and it's just have you guys ever looked at seeing how actually expensive it is to fucking get somebody over here?
I don't really care either way. I don't really care about autographs or any of that stuff. I just want Matt Mercer's autograph for my DM so I can get extra bonus points in my D&D game.
Oh, Lordy.
Don't kill me, please.
But kind of continuing on my thought for tonight. It's so you're sitting there you're wanting to plan for the con and first you what do you do to start figuring out, because once you take care of your room money, you square that away hopefully as early as possible, and then the next thing you got to start thinking about is food. So kind of going around what are some food items that you usually try to bring with you to help you get through the convention weekend?
Well, there was that one time we brought the crock pot and did the hot dogs. That was pretty good. That got us through the whole freaking weekend. That was great.
Yeah, back in the day, hotels were a lot more lenient on that. Not so much nowadays.
Really?
Yeah, they pretty much it was after you and I went to MTAC a few years ago. Actually, when I went to Mid-South Con recently.
Was that the MTAC we got rained in and couldn't?
Yeah, that was the MTAC where the rain floods opened up and we had to stay there 2 to 3 extra days before.
And I missed my finals test.
Yeah, you missed your finals for Japanese. You had to go make it up. But yeah, I digress. But now, hotels have gotten a lot stricter on that kind of stuff because the whole point is they want you buying their shit. And it's kind of hard to do that when you're racking in with a crock pot and shit, just being woohoo, So last year, one of the workarounds I found around that was to because they don't mind you bringing a mini fridge, and I just happen to have a mini fridge.
Yep.
So we brought that. So it made it a lot easier to store lunch meats and cheese and any soda pop that you wanted to chill.
So the room didn't have a mini fridge built in the room anymore?
So a lot of them do. I think when we stayed at the Hilton, I don't think it did. It did have one, right?
Mm-mm.
No, it did not. I think it was the Sheraton that had.
Yeah, that was the Sheraton that did.
It was the Sheraton, but a lot of times, even then, they're really kind of
if you open this, we will charge you money.
Pretty much.
Huh.
Because, like, there's sensors that are built in there, and if the fridge is open for a certain amount of time, or if it keeps being opened, they actually detect that, okay, they're using our mini fridge, time to hit you with a mini fridge charge.
That's freaking stupid.
Yeah. So, you know, like, I just said, screw it, and brought my own. So I was able to keep a lot of stuff cool. You know, of course, you know, having a cooler definitely helps when you've got, like, larger amounts of stuff, you know. Because, you know, a lot of times with the cons, like, the temptation is to want to snack and junk food out. So, like, you got a lot of people who will go in there and they'll buy nothing but, like, soda pop, and they'll buy nothing but, like...
Yeah, and you just wind up, like, crashing. And
yeah, you're crashing, you're entirely just, like, in a dehydrated state.
That's why you get, like, people get con crud all the time, because they don't drink water, and they don't, like, eat substantial amounts of food. Whatever. Yeah.
So, like, you know, like, it's something I always like to recommend to everybody, like, for you guys who are listening, if you're going to do a con, kind of this is the way that, like if you want to get, like, some soda pop or a little bit of junk food, it's cool. Make sure that you're balancing that out, though. Like, get yourself some, like, Gatorade. Like, if it's too much to, like, buy those, like, giant Gatorade packs, something that you can do is, like, you know, get yourself some water bottles. And then, you know, as you drink through the water bottles, then, like, if you get one of the Gatorade mixes, you can actually just mix stuff up in the bottle. And that'll at least help you retain water and whatnot. And then, you know...
It's got electrolytes.
It's got electrolytes.
It's what plants crave.
It's what plants crave. Not to be confused with the thirst mutilator.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, some other stuff that can help is, and I'll actually bring A-Kon into this, because, like, you actually had a much different selection of snacks to choose from. What did you end up getting, A-Kon?
So I tend to take the healthier choices, or make the healthier choices. I bring a lot of granola bars.
Which that's actually, like, that's not a bad idea. You know, like,
bars are actually pretty good.
Yeah, granola, like whether you're getting granola bars, you're getting, like, the trail mix granola.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps because it's just, like, you know, it's easy to store. It's not going to melt down or, like, you know, become a pile of mush, so you can sit there and just lightly munch on it all day.
Right.
And it helps keep a lot of energy, you know, like, while you're wandering around.
And some people, for some people, the bars, the new bars, or the bars that are like a whole meal. I don't know if you've seen those, like in the natural stores.
Yeah, like kind of like it's a granola bar setup. It's packed with enough, like, nutrients and whatnot to where you could eat one of those, and that pretty much is supposed to sustain you throughout the whole day.
Yeah, and like a bar is like $10 or something like that.
Yeah,
like $8.
$8. I mean, that's about right. I mean, like, if it does what it's intended to do, especially with, like, oats and grains and stuff, that helps fill up your tummy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't really necessarily go wrong with that. And most of the time, like, if you're going for, like if you're at a convention and going for a lunch, you're going to pay minimum $10 anyway.
Yes, exactly.
And that's not even including drink.
That's right.
So,
another thing that I like is dehydrated fruit, just to munch on, just to snack on.
Yeah.
And, like, I would do the same thing. I would buy a box of water, and then if you finish a bottle, you just use tap water. That's it. I mean, some people are a little persnickety about tap water, but I don't care.
Well, it depends on where you are with tap water, because in certain areas, the tap water, A, tastes terrible, and B, is probably bad for you.
And I think at QuakeCon they usually had, like, those
a lot of I know what you're talking about, the water stands. Yeah, a lot of, like, anime conventions or conventions in general, a lot of them tend to be stocked up with, like, little water stands. Mm-hmm. So if you run out of water and you need to fill up some water bottle or two, just poke right out, go to a water stand, fill up, and bam, you're good to go. If you're really wanting to be, like, eco-conscious, you could get, like, just like a reusable bottle, keep it with you all day.
Yeah.
And just keep it constantly filled up with water, topped off with that, like, you're good to go.
If they'd have the freaking filters for the Brita water bottle, I need a new filter.
Yeah, true that. But yeah, like, you know, like, a lot of times with the reusable bottles now, they like, Brita's come out with their own, like, mini filter. in the bottle type deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
wow.
so...
But they don't
Nice.
sell the reusable filters separately right now.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. They may, but I can't find them.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, like, you know, so a lot of times, like I said, you know, some of the stuff that you want to do, like when you're at a convention, especially when you're wandering around for long hours, is be careful of what you're eating. Make sure, if anything, like, if you're going to do, like, a soda pop or two, save it for when you're doing, like, a substantial meal. Like, when you're going in your room and you're, like, or you're going to the food court, something like that.
Or if you're lucky enough to have a mall type food court or a Pizza Hut van that's there. God, I still miss that thing.
Yeah. You're going to say something, Don?
Well, I think that it's worth it to eat at the places, and especially now that it's gonna be at Fort Worth Convention Center.
Yeah. So I mean, that's been one of the rough parts about like conventions in general when it comes to food stuffs is that a lot of times the convention ends up being kind of isolated for most other restaurants, and on top of that, parking is never locked in. So it's kind of like you're always in a debate of, well, do I order pizza? Or do I go to this really expensive-ass steakhouse? Or do I, you know, heat up ramen?
Yeah.
Or the food trucks.
Or the food trucks.
Well,
If they provide any.
Yeah, I mean, some, like, well, back in the day, a lot of them didn't. You know, now, like, they're starting to get better and better about that. But, like for example, like, when I went to Mid-South-Con in Memphis, they didn't have any food trucks out there. So
it really depends on the convention, because I've been to Anime Boston, and they only had food trucks.
yeah.
You had to depend on the restaurants in the hotel that was adjacent to the mall.
Yeah.
Um,
Which, you know, like, for the last few years at A-Kon, being at the Anatole was kind of rough, because the only restaurants they had were, like, the really expensive ones.
yeah. So I think if you do your research, if you're willing to maybe squirrel away some $20 or $30 that you know you're going to use every day for food, I think that would be worth it.
Yeah, usually like 30, 40 a day for food, like, is a pretty good amount.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to eat decent.
Right.
You know? Now, there are some folks that can get away. Like, one of the things I did last year was I batch cooked a shit ton of chicken and, like, shredded it all up. And then wrapped it up into little packets. And then since I was taking my mini fridge, I was able to keep it refrigerated the whole time so it never spoiled. And we bought a whole ton of cup ramen. And what we would do is we'd, you know, get the cup ramen going through a electric steam kettle. And when it was ready, dump in a packet of chicken, mix it up with it. Bam, you got a pretty, like, full and complete meal right there.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm a people watcher. Like, it amuses me to watch people and to watch reactions. So one of the things that I really enjoyed both in Anime Boston and in all of the A-Cons that I've been to here is people in cosplay going into restaurants. And that is the funniest shit.
Especially
It
when
is
they're
just-
dressed as Chun-Li and their ass is hanging out.
Yeah. Like anything.
I saw that one year. They were they were waiting in line for McDonald's and just ass hanging out.
Yeah. It's like if the venue has like had a convention for a while, they're kind of everybody's used to it, and they're like, "Hey, bro, what's up? High five!"
Yeah, the Anatole was not used to it. That was
And then
hilarious.
there was that one dude who almost got arrested for having a samurai sword.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, the Anatole definitely wasn't used to it, except for the snack shop. The snack shop people were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the first year, they were just kind of like, hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
Then all the other subsequent years, they were all like, we got Pocky and Ramene, and all, like, it's like mountains of, like, you know, Japanese good stuff. It was absolutely fantastic and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I digress, you know, like, when you're, like, especially if you guys listening to this are, like, kind of first-time convention newbies, like, don't get yourself caught up in like, hey, Three Musketeers every day, bro. Like
no, never do that. Ever.
yeah. Try to like be careful, plan out your stuff, and like that way you can actually live through the convention and not die for that $200 piece of swag.
Now I want a Three Musketeers. Thank you for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is actually kind of coincidental because before I got home, I actually had a Three Musketeers on the way. That's why I was thinking about it.
For first convention goers to wear comfortable shoes.
Yeah, that's another really big too.
A must.
Because like for a lot of people, they'll sit there and think it's like, all right, man, I'm gonna break out my thigh-high boots and all this other stuff, and like it's gonna be great. And then like 2 hours later, they're just like, oh my god, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Of course, my boots that I have, I wear like 10 to 12 hours a day at Ren fairs. So.
Well, I mean, you do have like custom leather boots though.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of have an advantage over a lot of cosplayers because you paid what, like
almost $500.
Yeah, you pay $500. Most cosplayers usually just take like the cheapest boot they can get,
Right.
and then they usually form stuff around it.
It's like $20 plus whatever they do to it.
Yeah, because they try to.
I had mine custom made from a boot shop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
I don't see many custom boot shops in A-Kon, do you?
No.
No.
Although that would be hilarious if they did have like
have Sona Sandlar
like a Sona Sandlar up at A-Kon. It's like, hey, we got a new vendor, like.
I think he would earn $1 over there.
He would actually. Like that's kind of one of the things you don't really see too much. You don't really see a whole ton of
shop. It's not like an actual person.
No, it's not an actual person. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. Well,
like, okay. Just like, there's not a whole ton
so
of like.
the shop would earn $1.
Yeah.
There's not a whole ton of like crossover you see with like the Ren Fair scene and the convention scene when it comes to.
But when it comes to like footwear and stuff, yes, you would. Especially when you can have them like made any way you want. Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah, that is odd that you don't see the cross.
Yeah.
Between those.
Because they have like the shorter boots that like go to mid calf, and they have some that go up to your knee or higher.
Yeah.
I mean, and anime is so expensive that there are so many animes that would include.
Maybe it's price point.
Renting.
But the thing is, their boots can last you 30 plus years.
That's the main deal, though, and I think that's I bet you a lot of cosplayers would take up on that.
Yeah.
Because, like, for a lot of cosplayers, at the end of the day, a lot of it is comfort. Mm-hmm. They have to design stuff that not only looks great, but it also has to be very ease of use, if that makes sense.
Yeah, unless you're like a guy I used to know who dropped $2,000 on a pair of boots.
Holy shit.
True that.
Yeah. But no, because I think, like, for example, with Berserk, like, people would go nuts in a shop like that.
They would, actually, yeah.
Would you say they would go berserk?
And there is Demon Lord Hans with our Bazinga of the Night. Everybody give it up for Demon Lord Hans.
It's so bad, it's good, it's so... High five, man, high five.
Are you sure you don't have any kids? Because that was a pretty bad dad joke there.
The blood tests haven't come back yet. I'll get back to you when they do.
So like a lot of it's like, be healthy, be comfortable. And the other thing I would kind of urge people to do is sleep. Sleep and like remember to take a shower.
Yes.
Sometimes you may have to take multiple showers depending on how much you sweat and like how much your body odor exudes from said sweat.
Or the last time you spoke to a brony.
Always carry a bottle of Axe body spray with you. If you're not going to use it, somebody will need it.
Yeah.
But remember, Axe body spray is not a shower in a can, people.
That's right.
No matter what douchebag beach tells you.
Or trying to be fake Mexican tells you.
Yes.
Because they've gotten this new advertisement that shows where I work. And you know how people... Well, this app often happens a lot. I can speak. Words are good. Often happens a lot with, say, weeaboo culture. You know, we'll be talking about something and we'll say that we really like it. It's Sugoi. Or, man, Diva is such a great character. Daisuki dayo. But this... Yes. This commercial does this with Spanish words. The dude like shows up and he's like, no one stands a chance against an hombre except for someone who knows what hombre means. And it is just so fucking bad, but it is classic Axe. We think we're cool, but we're kind of failing at this.
Oh man, that is funny. I have to see that.
I'm sure you can find it online, but it makes me cringe every time it comes on. Anyway, I'm done talking.
Yeah, it's kind of like, when you do go off and try doing the random weeaboo words, like I'll be up at work and it's just like, or like, it's like I'll go into full cringe mode too, just because I like making my coworkers laugh, and it's just like, all right, guys, it's time for me to go fix this coffee desu. They're like, did you just say desu? Yes, I did.
Believe it.
Right.
It's time for me to go get a tall latte, Datebayo.
You should do that next time.
Believe in the heart of the cards.
Oh man.
It's time to duel!
There has actually been a couple of things that A-Kon has done. Like there was a song to take a shower a couple of years ago that they posted like a video on the webpage.
And isn't it kind of disheartening that people have to be reminded to do this shit?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, and I've seen this, used a couple of times, is that there are a few folks that have like severe allergies to like almost all forms of deodorant. So for a lot of them, they have no choice but to have to deal with their own BO.
Unless you're
That's
like
rough.
one of the guys we used to know who never wore deodorant because he said it made him smell like bacon.
What?
Well, that's like one of those non...
What?
If it made him smell like bacon, what brand was he using?
It doesn't matter. He said that any kind of deodorant he would wear, he'd smelled like bacon.
But how is that a bad thing? You go around everywhere smelling bacon.
Yeah, he smelled horrible. He's like, what, 6'4"? He's like a heavy-set dude. Or 6'2", something like that. He was pretty tall. But he was really, like, wide dude, whatever. I told him he should dress up as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man one year. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, there are some folks that like, because like for a little bit, A-Kon was posting stuff like that, and other con goers were posting stuff like that on the Facebook. But then there were some posters who would come and be like, look, it's like, I'm not like trying to like fuck people's day up. There's legitimate reasons why I have to smell like shit all the time. It's not something I can control. Like a really bad incident a couple years ago, somebody was running up and trying to Febreze everybody.
Oh.
It's like somebody was running around with Febreze bottles and just like shh. And they accidentally sprayed it on a girl who had a massive allergic reaction. So yeah, ever since then they've been kind of quiet on that front. But it's kind of one of those acceptable deals. I mean, like optimally, if you can, like take a shower when you get up.
If you have to, take several.
Yeah, take several. I mean, it's not going to kill you to pack in multiple clothes.
No.
Especially for a lot of y'all cosplayers who end up doing
A different costume each day.
yeah.
Or every few hours.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
No,
all they do. They don't really go to panels or
that's
anything.
right.
They just dress up and walk around, then go back up, change clothes, come back down, walk around
Yeah.
some more.
And each costume takes them 2 hours.
Yeah, it takes at least
To
an hour or
put it,
two
yeah.
to get into.
Yeah, that's right.
Like my Rig Fair stuff, that stuff can take at least an hour to get into.
Really? The Gin cosplay I did for Anime Fest a few years ago took me like 5 minutes.
My Ezio costume.
Oh, that Ezio costume, that took you a while.
Yeah, it takes me over an hour.
Yeah, because there's a lot of aspects to that costume.
There's a lot of small pieces on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like, just, practice good hygiene. Take care of yourself as best you can. Within clinical reason, of course.
Do your research about the places that are around the convention center or the hotel, wherever you're staying.
Yeah, especially when it comes to parking.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is sit there and, like, park out somewhere, and next thing you know, your car is getting towed.
Yeah. Or you have to pay $30 per day.
Or your car gets towed.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's like for
Yeah, I'm not really familiar where QuakeCon is going to be doing their new convention this year, but it's no longer at the Annet Hall, so.
If I remember correctly, I think the Gaylord is next to Grapevine Mills, if I remember correctly. I'd have to double check it.
I think you mentioned that when, because you were talking about it, and it was as we were going to round one, I believe for my birthday last year, you mentioned something about them moving over to that hotel and that it would be like right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, even if the Gaylord charges for parking, you still can get parking through the mall. You know?
And then go to round one and play Project Diva.
True.
Why? I have future time.
You can't bring it with you.
Yes, I can.
Well, plus on top of that, you'll need your Miku card, because then you can use your same Miku card over on Future Tone.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
So,
You can use the Miku card from Arcade on Future Tone? How the hell would you do that?
I'm not exactly sure how. I just remember that being one of the features. That's one of the reasons why I got a Miku card, too.
Miku cards for everyone.
Miku cards for everyone.
But don't stream it or Sega. No, it was exit music. Don't stream it or exit music will fuck you up. Yeah, I don't know if anyone listening knew about this, but a couple weeks ago, because I do really like the Project Diva series, I tried to stream Hatsune Miku Project Diva Future Tone. Yeah, copyright claims, video poll. No.
Could only be
Copyright
seen in Japan.
Yeah. Only allowed, because, the English-speaking player really has the audience in Japan.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was less than thrilled.
Yeah, oh yes. Yeah, I think we were all less than thrilled on that one.
Yeah, that was our first copyright claim. Then, when I started playing...
Our first one.
yeah, because when I started playing Full Throttle, we got another one.
Yeah.
Just couldn't monetize it, but it could still be up with full audio.
Yeah, yours could actually be watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate, but that's how it just shakes out sometimes.
Yep.
And on that note, we should probably go ahead and wrap things up real quick.
I do have one last piece of advice for anyone attending their first con. May the force be with you. That's not advice. That's a suggestion. God damn it, it's late.
Well, I thought you were going to go with the, don't ask a girl if they're going to, if they're ready to fuck or not.
Well,
That should go without saying.
Who did this? Who did this?
Or what was the line? I can't remember.
Well, I guess we're not. I guess it's not happening tonight.
To be continued for next week on this wonderful story. In the meantime, gang, as always, you guys can check us out every Sunday with NeviCast. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, we always have streaming and Let's Plays up that you can, if you can't catch us on Twitch, you can always catch on the YouTube channel for Nevi Devil Crew. Of course, FM Panda is on Mondays, Pants Plays is on Tuesdays, Run Play is on Wednesdays. We do the Verses on Saturdays. Thursday is always Adon's Thoughtful Thursdays.
Yes.
Friday is Flash Fiction Friday.
Which Prism Chasers is still going strong. We are almost through the reunion arc. Look forward to the Door to Eternity arc after that.
Yeah. And so, we got stuff every day of the week for you guys to check out. So, look for us up on WordPress. Look for us up on YouTube. We're always got hot stuff for you to check out coming your way. on behalf of everybody here, this is your boy, Fearless Billy Nuwando.
And Rob.
Matane.
Oh, dear God.
Adon.
And telling you guys good night and good luck.
Later.
Bye.